What's up, everyone, and welcome to episode 42 of Battle Talk, a Blizzard talk show where we talk about pretty much everything Blizzard news related. I'm your host, Mike, and joining me, as usual, is this Dom guy.
This Dom guy over here.
This Dom guy over here.
How's it going?
This is going good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just hanging out in BRD waiting for the Hearthstone wing to open.
The Hearthstone wing to open?
Yeah.
Oh, is that a thing?
That's a thing. That's a thing.
All right.
I'm really excited. Black Rock Mountain,
I like it.
April 2nd. It's like 2 days from now.
Yeah, that works. So, it's been the two of us for a couple weeks now. Joining us as a special... Oh, fuck you. Joining us as a special guest host for this week's show is some guy named John.
I just keep showing up places, don't I?
God damn it.
John!
Hi,
I'm
John.
slowly taking over all of your shows.
You're taking over the
That's what's
internet.
happening. I am. It's one Blizzard talk show at a time. It's going to happen.
Yeah, John's on the our Overwatch podcast.
That he is.
And I apparently passed the test, so I get to be on this one for a day.
He plays a lot of Hearthstone. He used to play a lot of WoW. And Diablo.
Yeah.
And StarCraft.
I got credentials. And stuff.
I was
Played,
hoping you had a
played
badge to
Heroes?
whip out and flash.
You played Heroes yet, John?
What's that?
Have you played Heroes yet?
Oh, yeah.
What's your favorite character?
Muradin.
Nice. Nice
He's a
choice.
goddamn man.
Good
Yeah.
man. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
So, as Dom mentioned, and he's in Blackrock Foundry. It's
I'm
I
not
don't think that's
Foundry.
it. I believe
Black.
it's Grim Guzzler.
Rock Depths.
Jeez,
Sorry, Blackrock
I
Mountain.
knew that.
Yes. Foundry. In head. Too much.
This is not just to be clear. This is not Black Fathom Deeps. This is not.
It's not Razorfen Crawl?
BFD.
No, it's not Razorfen Crawl. It's not.
That either.
This is not Scarlet Monastery. Definitely not Karazhan.
It's Baron's chat.
Oh, my
Embodied.
It
God.
is. Yep. I'm in Baron's chat.
Anyway, Blackrock Mountain Adventure is going to release on April 2nd. The first wing anyway. The you have last few days coming up to pre-order. And then fun stuff. Let's go over a couple card backs while we're at it.
Yay.
What you see here, one on the right, if you pre-order all 5 wings, you get that lovely lava-based card back.
I got that.
Me too.
The one on the left, if you complete all of the adventure on heroic difficulty, you get that
I will have that.
Black Dragon related thing.
Want it.
I believe today is your last day, and as of recording this, I think you only have a couple hours left to get this lovely card back for the month of March.
That is very true.
Yes.
You only have a couple hours left for that.
Right, so if you're watching this live, that's a public service announcement. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'm sorry, you missed your chance. But we've been reminding you for a month anyway. And this new month of April, get to rank 20 and you get that one.
The Letdown.
It's an April Fool's card.
It's got
It's
to
a
be an April
Pop-Tart.
Fool's
No,
card.
this a Pop-Tart.
It is a Pop-Tart, oh my god.
I think this was meant to be the anniversary birthday card from the what was it? It was supposed to be last month or
Okay.
the month before that, and we got something else instead. So
Yeah.
Alright then. That is a very interesting card. It does
Yeah.
look like a Pop-Tart. I will never unsee that.
You're welcome.
Thank
it
you.
is forever now a Pop-Tart. But yeah,
It's now a
I made
Pop-Tart.
sure I grabbed one of these BattleNet cards for Hearthstone. Hearthstone,
Smart
and
man.
I redeemed it and then added some money to my Blizzard, my BattleNet account, and paid for it that way. Because I had a gift card to Target. What else am I gonna buy at Target?
Pants.
Like really, legit. What am I gonna buy at Target? Do I look like the kind of Target? Do I shop at Target?
No, you're not a Target shopper.
I
I used
go
to work at Target.
occasionally.
I mean,
You did.
I mean
Did.
this hat right here. I got this hat at Walmart. So
Okay. Well,
gotta
the
go
battle
to
lines have been drawn.
Yeah, we got to go to another state for Walmart, sir. So check your
Yeah.
privilege over there. And moving on to Blackrock Mountain. The first wing is Blackrock Depths. So much Blackrock, I'm going to get tongue-tied. Blackrock, 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 Blackrock.
Not Bake Rock.
Get it all out.
Getting it out.
Not
Bake Rock Depths.
Bake Rock Depths.
Yes, we're going to go with that. It's a 3-boss wing consisting of 3 bosses: Corrin Dire Brew, High Justice Grimstone, and Emperor Tharsan. I think that's how you pronounce it. I've heard it in about 6 different ways. And
Thorician.
it's definitely not Thorician. Anyway, fun stuff. Couple
Potato.
interesting abilities to talk about out of that. So I guess let's just jump right into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so first boss, we have Corrin Dire Brew. That guy. He, what's he do? He's the, Brewfest, boss, right? Yes, he's the Brewfest boss that comes around once a year during Brewfest time, obviously.
Yeah.
And here's his hero ability. It is called Pile On. For 0 mana cost, you put the minions from your deck and 1 from your opponents onto the battlefield.
Yeah, that's the one that you have listed there is actually the I believe that's the heroic one.
Oh, well,
So on normal it's going to be 1 and 1, and on heroic he gets 2. You get 1.
okay.
So
Unfortunately, I couldn't find the normal one. I just
yeah,
thought it was 2
no,
and 2.
That's fine. Yeah, so that's definitely going to be pretty interesting. Because the way that Nax worked, you could probably get away on normal with using decks that you have. You could probably do it, but heroic is a completely different ballgame. You have to build decks specifically for it. So you're gonna want a lot of high mana cost cards for like your top tier legendaries. All those cards that cost 10 plus mana, whatever. 8, 9, 10 mana, whatever it is. And then his hero power is just going to put them out on the field for you, so you don't have to worry about actually spending resources on them. So
Right? That's actually pretty nice.
yeah,
Ought to be an interesting fight, especially on heroic. Lots and lots of minions everywhere. But if you do happen to defeat him, which you eventually will if you're anything decent at this game, unlike me, you will be rewarded with, the Grim Patron card.
Grim Patron.
Grim Patron.
Patron. Yeah.
Yeah, he's an interesting one. This one for 5 mana, you get a 3/3 minion, and whenever this minion survives damage, summon another one.
Yeah. It's, why does it cost 5? At 4 it would have been great, but 5 is just like,
You underestimate this though, John. I think you underestimate this. For 5 mana, you're getting a card that anytime it does damage, it puts another one of itself on the board. And then when that one takes damage,
when it survives damage, it has to survive damage.
Right, survives damage. So, but then that one takes damage, and that one's gonna spawn another 3/3. Then that one survives damage, and then it spawns another 3/3. It's basically infinitely.
Yes.
So the deck that I think this card works the best in is a warrior deck.
I was just going to say
Correct.
that, actually.
Yeah, Whirlwind and their new card are going to be
You have
perfect for
Whirlwind.
this.
You have I forget the name of the axe that has a death rattle that does a whirlwind at the end of it. Deathspite. You have Commanding Shout, whatever. Commanding Chart, whatever. It makes your opponents can't go below 1 health. So
Yeah, it's Commanding Shout.
yeah. So you have that, and
Yeah.
Put Commanding Shout on. Put it on cast it. You have let's say you have 2 of them out, and your opponent's got 1 8 mana 8 health minion, right? You put Commanding Shout up, and then you do Bouncing Blade. It's gonna bounce back and forth, hit your guys infinitely because they will never die, and until it hits his 1 mob for 8 health, and now you have an entire board full of Grim Patrons.
That's a lot of Grim Patrons.
I mean, and that's the thing. It's going to be great in a deck built around it. So if you go hard on the Grim Patron, it might pay off, and it's a little, it is a little gimmicky. It's probably not going to work all the time, but when it does work, it's going to be hilarious and amazing. But in general, the only problem is like it's not going to be used in any other decks, I don't think, because on turn 5 people are dropping Sludge Belchers, and that thing just gets massacred by a Sludge Belcher.
That's true.
And that's like the problem, because it's got 3 health, Sludge Belcher's got 3 attack. It's just going to die. Same thing when people are using a lot of Piloted Shredders. Those are going to one-shot it. I mean, they'll trade, but again, you're losing a 5-drop to a Piloted Shredder, and that's like, it's not going to be great. So, like you guys said, if you have it in a deck with like Whirlwind, Revenge, you can even Warsong Commander them and give them all charge, and then life is beautiful.
They actually just fixed Warsong Commander, this patch that went out today. It was broken in the way that, like, if you had the Golem out, the 2/3 Golem that summons a 2/1, the Harvest Golem.
Right.
So if you had the Harvest Golem out, or you put the Charge Dude out, and then you put Harvest Golem out, and then it made your Harvest Golem charge, and you charged that into a mob, when it summoned the 2/1, it was supposed to make that minion charge, so you could use that immediately.
Yeah.
But it was broken, and it wasn't letting you do that. It's fixed again. It's letting you do that. So Grim Patron, I'm assuming, is going to work the same way. So you have him out, and then he charges into like a 2/2, which means he now took damage. He survived it. It's going to spawn another 3/3. You can charge into another small minion, create another one, charge immediately. So that's why I said the Warrior, I think, is the best class for this card.
Absolutely.
Priest, I think, would work well, because you could just keep adding health to it.
Power shield it,
Yep. So, I mean, there's some other classes. Mage, it's not terrible on a mage either.
Just Fire Blast it.
You could drop it and just ping it yourself. So, there's definitely some room for it out there. It is a little high costing, but I just because the token that it summons also has that effect is what makes it so great, because it's not like if you get 2 of these on the board on the turn you play it on, and they have a silence, well, guess what? They silenced one of them. There's still another one that has the ability on it. So it can get pretty nasty pretty quickly.
So basically they have to waste their board clear on it.
Yeah.
Oh boy. So that would be fun. Moving on. Second boss of the wing is High Justice Grimstone. I believe he was from the arena fight in Blackrock Depths. I think that was his name, Grimstone.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Okay, that's him. And his ability is called Jeering Crowd. And it is for 0 mana, summon a 1/1 spectator with taunt. That seems pretty straightforward.
Play a druid or a mage when you fight this guy, basically.
Yeah, the card that he actually spawns the artwork for is amazing.
It's hilarious.
It's got a guy with a foam finger with a number 1 on it. And
right.
You can kind of see it in the...
You can kind of see it in the little window, That is the one card
it's so
I didn't
funny.
pull up.
Yep.
But yeah.
No, it's really, really good. So this fight is going to be interesting, because I believe there's just random creatures that get summoned in on this. I don't know exactly how it works, but... Oh, yeah, there it is.
I'm giving it to Dom because he likes it so much.
There you go.
There you go.
Just take it, Dom.
And when you do beat this guy, you'll be given the card Gang Up, which is a 2-mana card. Choose a minion. Shuffle 3 copies of it into your deck.
Keep in mind this is a rogue card.
Oh, yes, this is a rogue card. Sorry. So choose a minion and shuffle 3 copies into your deck. So, hey, I only was allowed 2 of this, or 1 of this legendary. Now I have 4 of them.
Yeah.
Or I didn't even have this legendary in my deck. My opponent did, and now there's 3
exactly.
in my deck.
It's like,
I would like some.
Look, my opponent threw,
I'll take 3 Tyrians, sure.
Oh, you have a Sludge Belcher out? Oh, I forgot to put those in my deck. Guess what? Now I have 3 of them.
It's going to be really good in a deck. I think you'll have to build your rogue deck maybe a little differently just to give it a little more card draw. So you can pull out the cool legendaries that you just copied.
Hmm.
But I think you're going to see a lot of use out of this card. And honestly, it's going to be funny in like the Rogue Mill decks because like multiplayer Cold Light Oracles and just be like, here, draw more cards, asshole. Have fun.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. The
So,
I don't know right now if there's room for this in a Miracle Rogue deck. I feel like there is.
yeah.
But I don't know what you would give up for it. That's the thing. I feel like the room is there because you're adding more cards into your hand, which gives you more board presence, which you don't typically have in Miracle deck. So, I mean, for one spell, you're trading off to get 3 extra minions in your deck. So it seems like there's some potential for room in there, but I don't play
hard to
Miracle enough that I know for sure.
Well, now it's not really. Now it's like the Oil Rogue is the
Yeah.
thing to do. So it's like they cut the Auctioneers. So the only card draw those decks run now is Sprint, and they try to usually prep Sprint so it doesn't cost your entire turn, basically.
Right.
I don't know what you'd cut for this card, but I feel like it might go better in like a Tempo Rogue deck if that makes a comeback.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're just going for like value and just you try to win the game before, so you just try to snowball all the tempo and then just win the game before your opponent can make a big comeback in the late game. And that I could see it working in because you could just, copy not even a legendary, just a high impact minion. Like, I don't know, you could copy your SI7 agents or
Ooh.
whatever taunters your opponent might be running and stuff like that, and just hope for the best. And
Yeah.
I guess you'd have to run shivs to draw cards and maybe some fan of knives and stuff like that too. But it could definitely, it's going to be used for sure. You're going to see a lot of this card.
Yeah,
Right.
you're definitely going to want card draw in it because keep in mind that it does shuffle them into your deck. They don't put them in your hand. They're now back in your deck and you have to draw them. So
So you have to wait on the RNG fairy to bless you. And Draven
RNG
Dresden in
is-
chat says, and this is reason why it probably will be used, you can have 8 of a card. Your 2 minions plus 2 copies of that card. So now you have 8 of whatever minion your heart desires.
You really want.
Yes.
I mean, if you really want to look at it, you get 10 because you could put 2 faceless manipulators in
Son of a bitch.
in your deck
Yeah.
as well. So
Yeah.
there is that.
I love
But
it.
the fact that you cannot have 10 cards in play at once kind of takes that factor away. But yeah,
But the dream is
It is.
there.
The dream is there. Great card. A lot of interesting cards shaking up the meta a bit here. So, next is the end boss of this wing, Thaurissan, also known as the final boss of Blackrock Depths. This is his card art for when you get him as a legendary. We'll cover that in a minute. He has a card that he will play named Moira. Moira Bronzebeard.
yeah. Moira
Oh,
starts
Lady
out
Dwarf.
on the board.
Right,
when-
she starts
in
off on the
game.
board. And the special thing about Moira, besides being a 1/3, Thaurissan's hero power cannot be used, and she never attacks minions unless they have taunt. Now, why is this such a big deal, you might ask? Because here's Thaurissan's ability. Deal 30 damage for 2 mana.
That's all of your life for those.
called
That's all of
Power
your
of the Fire Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah, this I saw a comment on a thread today about this, and it was, gee, they're just asking for me to put Eye for an Eye back in my deck. And yeah, really, that's what they're asking with that.
Really,
And you put Eye
please.
for an Eye in your deck, and you're gonna kill each other, which does
Yes.
not give you a win on the match. It ends in a draw, and you lose.
Yes.
So
Not if you
Or
have armor.
Be a warrior and armor up.
Oh wait, no, Eye for an Eye. Never mind.
Eye for an Eye
I'm
is
an
on-
idiot.
or-
I'm an idiot.
or Paladin.
Here you go. You play a piloted shredder, you pray to RNGesus that you get an armor smith to pop out, and then you play Eye for an Eye. And then you get have 1 armor. I don't care how you got it, and then you win.
It's true.
That's how you do it.
Someone out there
Build
in
that
the
deck.
millions of Hearthstone players will win that way.
And I just
Yes.
want to point out Moira on heroic has 3 attack, 1 damage, or 3 attack, 1 health.
Oof.
Ugh.
So
So don't have any taunt minions.
or any RNG AoE kind of damage because
Ooh.
one really badly placed arcane missile and it's dead.
One stray anything, yeah. And then you're fucked because, hey,
You're
I have
done.
2 mana and I can kill you. Oh my god.
I mean, he's always going to have 2 mana.
Well, yes.
I mean-
especially by the time he gets around to, yeah, he's always going to have 2 mana. Period. Done. So that's an interesting Endwing boss. And if you defeat him, you will get Resurrect. And this is a priest card. 2 mana. Summon a random friendly minion that died this game. That's very nice. I mean, the random aspect of it. I mean, you do have a chance of getting that beefy, that 8 mana, whatever the hell you want to call it, that got destroyed by a polymorph. Got a chance of getting him
No,
back.
I don't think that counts. Because the polymorph is being it's transforming the
Shit.
card,
You're
and
right.
then the sheep
You're
is
right.
being killed, so it could
Oh,
summon the
yeah.
sheep back.
Just get the
Fine.
sheep.
Fine. You're getting
Or
back
the Hex
something that
Frog.
got hit by Shadow Word Death.
I mean, best case scenario, you resurrect Kel'Thuzad.
There you go. It's red face.
That is best case scenario.
That's
That is best
It's-
case
it's
scenario.
interesting.
Worst case scenario is probably the sheep. I think the frog. If you got the hexed frog, it's still slightly better than the sheep.
I
You
mean,
now got a taunt out of it.
as long as it costs more than 2, I think you're okay with whatever comes out.
Oh,
you know?
yeah. Because,
Because you're only paying 2 for it.
Mhm.
It's an interesting card because it's like, hey, priests need a 2-drop. Well, here you go. Like, it's
It's not really
kind
a
of a
2-drop that you could play on your first turn. Because
No.
nothing died yet.
That dies that you put out on turn 1 is probably not something you want to waste resurrect on.
No, your Northshire Cleric is not worth 2 mana.
no, he most definitely isn't. Nor is the Goldshire Footman.
No. Again,
Who
this
plays
is a
that?
card. No one.
Me.
Mike does. That's why he loses.
Exactly.
Yeah, that is why Mike loses.
That's why I'm
at this
terrible
game.
at this game. I've played a grand total of 6 games.
So proud.
Maybe. I don't know.
So, again, this is a card that you kind of need to tune your deck around.
Mhm.
You don't want a lot of early drops with it, and it'll be. I think if you do that, I think it'll be fine. I think it'll be. You'll get, as long as you're getting at least like a 3 or a 4 drop out of it. Like even if you got your Dark Cultist back, like you're sitting pretty. You paid 2 mana for another Dark Cultist. Like who cares? Yeah,
Mhm.
and then maybe you'll get your Sylvanas again. Maybe you'll get your Doctor Boom again.
Well,
As long as, or even a Blade Master. The injured Blade Master won't be damaged when he gets resummoned because his Battle Cry won't trigger. So he'll just be a 4/7 for 2. So
yeah, and you guys don't have to worry because it is a friendly minion, so you don't have to worry about
Yes.
your opponents getting one of his shitty minions or something. Like this is straight from your deck. So
so it's gonna be good.
All right.
It's good the priest got at least one good card.
Yeah, they're getting something good out of this. And when you clear all 3 bosses of the wing, you get this lovely man, legendary. Emperor Thaurissan, 6 mana. At the end of your turn... Oh, he's a 5/5, by the way. The end of your turn, reduce the cost of cards in your hand by 1.
this card is what the internet has been calling the best card in the entire game.
And you know what? I have to agree with them right now.
I don't agree with.
No, okay. 1, it's easily countered. Anything that removes this card instantly, you're done. I mean, Shadow Word Death, Polymorph Hex, all that shit. But
It's the end of your turn. So
well,
it
yeah,
always-
you're gonna get 1 use of his
Yeah.
passive off. So that's 1 less mana cost for everything in your hand. That's beautiful.
Mhm.
And if you happen to keep him alive, I assume this is a cumulative bonus.
it is. It's not a Battle Cry.
And if you use Gang Up and have 4 of him on the field at once,
No, please. You should have won already.
I'm not sure if they stack.
that's a... Why
Yeah.
wouldn't they?
I
They
don't think they
should.
do. It's the same reason that what is it? If you have 2 Baron Rivendares on the field, it does not trigger a death rattle 4 times.
True.
Oh, okay.
So I
Yeah.
don't believe it stacks.
All right. Understood.
The silliness would be unbounded. if it did.
Hey, I'd like to play Deathwing for 2 mana. Yeah.
He's going to be. I think he'll be especially. I mean, he's not going to fit in every deck. So
Nope.
don't put him in your aggro deck because you're just going to get disappointed. Because
And-
you know.
I'd actually almost never take this card in Arena.
Yeah.
Probably
I
not.
mean, no, because he's just not. Especially in Arena, because like people are playing better 6-drops than that are just going to smack him in the mouth and kill him. But he will be good in like combo decks like the Oil / Miracle Rogue and Freeze Mage, because those guys are like really very, very tied to how much mana they have for the turn to finish you off. To like this drops the burst cost of those classes, so
Right.
they're gonna love this sucker.
Yeah, I mean it's 1 more mana than Lotheb, right?
Yes.
Lotheb's 5 mana.
Lotheb's a 5.
I mean, it's a slightly better Lotheb. That's really all this is.
Well,
It's a reverse Lotheb, but it's a slightly better Lotheb.
yeah.
Yeah, and considering the 5-drops people are playing, I mean, obviously we don't know because we're gonna have some other dragons showing up that have a lot of attack power, but right now, you know, like I also mentioned before, Sludge Belcher's a usual 5-drop you see. He trades with that. You know, he could take a Sludge Belcher out on turn 6. You know, a lot of he could basically knock out any 4-drop that people are playing if they're still on the board. So he definitely trades really well for, you know, for 6 mana. He's not bad because I mean he's Sylvanas but with a different effect. He's a 6 mana 5/5, and everyone, you know, 5/5s are really, really good right now, just because of the cards people are playing. I think like I said, you're not going to want to run him in any kind of aggressive deck because he's just going to clog you up, and you know by turn 6 your hand should be empty. Like
Yeah.
you're not holding on to anything. In Control, I could see him being fun because he could just like innervate your whole hand, and you just ruin lives with that.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna make the game crazy.
He is.
Crazy.
It's just-
Shenanigans.
he's so late in the game that he's got me worried. Like 6 is kind of far in. There's many decks out there that you're dead before turn 6. So, yeah, like you said, you gotta kind of build around him and stuff like that. And it's difficult because it's got to kind of be like some mid-range deck because you can't keep him in like a rush deck, like you said, because any cards that you have there are going to cost 1 to 2 mana, and you're probably going to have emptied anyway by then.
Mhm.
So even if you did, what are you going to have? You have them in your hand, and now all the cards are 1 to 0 mana, like, you know. So
Right.
I mean,
like, great.
I mean, your hand will be empty that next turn, so it doesn't really matter. But you keep him in a nice mid-range deck, and it's gonna slowly over time start putting the bigger ones out, and then you can get some of those hard-hitting ones like what's the legendary mage card? I can't think of his name right now.
Antonitis.
Yeah,
Oh,
Archmage
yeah.
Antonitis. Like you start getting him in there, and then you
Forget
start, you know, like you have him in your hand when you put that thing out. Now he's lower cost and lower and lower and lower if you keep him in, and then you had a couple spells in your hand. Those spells now cost 0 mana, so now all of a
Yeah.
sudden you have a handful of fireballs, and then let's say he survives the next turn after that. Those fireballs, instead of costing 4 mana, all cost 3 now. So, and then they're just going to keep spawning more fireballs and stuff like that. So there are some nice pairings with him. There are, but I see you really having to build like a control mid-range deck around this guy.
Absolutely.
So
I go with that.
But I want it, and I'm glad it's week 1.
I want it. Yeah. Great card for week 1.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving right along, class challenges are coming back just like they were there for Naxxramas. The week 1 class challenges are for Hunter and Mage. Hunter,
Mage is the class I play the most. So
well, good man. Hunter, complete your challenge and you will get 2 quick shots. And they're simple. 2 mana, deal 3 damage. If your hand is empty, draw a card.
What more could you want? It's
It's
beautiful.
good value. I mean,
It's great value.
fits
Yes.
in an aggressive deck.
It's slightly better Dark Bomb.
Slightly better Dark Bomb.
Yeah, it's like a Frostbolt almost.
Yeah.
It's going to make Face Hunter even more annoying for the next couple weeks. So enjoy that,
Oh.
everybody.
Oh, fuck
The
that.
cancer is real.
Yeah, you're gonna see right when this goes live, that for the first week, we're gonna have Mage and Hunter probably be the two big ones.
It's just, oh my
You know,
god.
in constructed in ranked play anyway.
Because everybody's
I
going to be
mean-
throwing quick shots.
Because you're never sad when you play Quick Shot. Like, if you have a full hand and you play it, you're not sad. If you have an empty hand and you play it, you're not even remotely sad. Like, it's just
You're less
it's
not
so
sad.
good. You're less not sad. Like, it's just gonna they're gonna take out their Wolf Riders out of their deck, those 3/1s with charge, and they're gonna put Quick Shot in and continue to rank up on ladder.
Yep.
I like it. And now the Mage card. Oh, excuse me. Complete the class challenge, and you get 2 Dragon's Breath. 5 mana, deal 4 damage. Costs 1 less for each minion that died this turn. A nice follow-up to Flame Strike.
No, notice this is each minion. This is not friendly minion. This is not enemy minion. This is both. So
Mhm.
if you trade your minion into one of their minions and they both die, that's 2. So this now costs 3.
Yeah. Which is awesome. And, like, you know, your board gets wiped. Oh, no. Here, have a free 4 damage.
Mm-hmm.
If you happen to have 5 minions on the board.
Yeah, I mean, but it's only during your turn, so it
I'm
doesn't.
curious if you can get
carry
this thing low enough that it gives you mana back.
I don't think.
I don't think that. Yeah, that definitely doesn't work that way.
I would love it because
I
I
wish.
started. I know we're not covering this card yet, but Nefarian. Nefarian cover. He gives you 2 random spells from your opponent. So if let's say a druid is playing Nefarian and he gets Dragon's Breath and whatever else, and his opponent's got a board full of 1/1s, and you swipe them,
The hilariousness.
you know this thing would cost 0 mana.
I mean,
have 4
it's. I don't know. I don't know why this card. They already gave you Flame Cannon. I don't know. Like it's a great, like you said, it's a great follow up to Flame Strike. But where in the deck are you putting this? Because it's not as good as a Fireball. Straight right off the bat,
No, you're
Fireball's
right.
better. It's a weird.
It's
It's in
this
a
is
weird
not as good as
spot.
Fireball if you were using it at mana cost. You are correct, but if you can get away with using this on a turn where it's going to cost 0 to 1 mana, this is much better than Fireball.
Oh no, I'm not even
Right,
pretending like yeah.
It's
Right.
that's
It's just
that
like
rare
it's sitting in your
situation.
Yeah, it's just never going to come up, and it's just going to sit in your hand. And you know,
Mm.
5 mana for 4 damage is not a good rate at all in this game.
Yeah,
So
you're probably almost never going to use it at full mana value.
Mhm.
It's going to be very rare in those. It's only going to be if you're like top decking your cards at this point. You have nothing else to go off of. That you'll be using it at full mana cost. But if you're at that point, you're fucked already. So nothing's going to save you.
Yep.
right,
But the way I look at it is you have the Flame Cannon, which is 4 damage for 2 mana, but it goes to a random minion. You have no control over what minion this goes to.
Mm-hmm.
This one you could at least choose what target it goes on.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
there's
And I
that.
mean,
if you get 3 minions killed, you know, that turn, it's the same cost as Flame Cannon, or as Flame Cannon, but this you can control. So
yeah, I mean, like a more of a tempo-y mage deck, I could see it happening. I actually just built a tempo mage deck, and I'm actually running Flame Cannon, which you never really see a lot of. But like the
Right.
way the deck is, usually your opponent's only got 1 dude on the board, so it doesn't matter. You Flame Cannon and who you want to Flame Cannon. But yeah, this card I could definitely see if you are running a more kind of aggressive-y mage. Yeah, because you're trading anyway. So.
Mhm.
And honestly, if you're using like mirror image, yeah, because they're gonna die real quick. If you even buff them with like a what's it, the Direwolf Alpha that buffs adjacent minions or something like that. Yeah, I don't know. If you maybe go for an aggressive mage and you're not feeling like going mech like everybody else, then yeah, I could see this card having a place in your deck for sure.
yeah.
I like it.
Yep. There was also a couple strings that were data mined from this. One of which is mobile stuff tied to mobile, just like the iPad reward and the Android tablets that they had. Um, if they you get a card pack, I believe it's classic pack for logging into the iPhone and the Android phone. So obviously they're not available for mobile yet, but this just kind of shows me that they're getting much closer sooner than you're gonna expect. So
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily gonna say it's this patch or anytime soon, but it's gonna be soon.
Hearthstone seems to be the first game with Blizzard where they announce something and it comes sooner than you expect rather than later.
Yeah.
Because everything with this game has come sooner than everybody's expected.
Yep.
The release,
Uh,
expansions, the adventures, everything.
Also, for those of you that don't necessarily cycle through your missions every day, you're gonna probably want to do that a little bit more. There was a new daily quest that was
Oh.
added that called Watch and Learn, and all you have to do is spectate a friend.
Uh-oh. We lost Johnny Boy.
John, you spectate a friend, and you get a card pack
Sweet.
if they win their match.
He's back!
He's back.
Hey,
So
sorry.
Possibly from outer
this
space.
is obviously not going to be a quest that shows up very often,
Mm-hmm.
but just for spectating and having your spectated person win the match, you get a free classic card pack. So it's not goblins versus gnome cards. It's the original one. So if you're still missing legendaries and stuff, it's a chance out of that to get those.
That's nice.
I know I'm still missing cards from the basic set, so that's really nice. Without because arena, if you do arena, you're only getting goblins versus gnomes packs, right? So this is just a nice way to get another classic pack without having to buy them or use gold or whatever.
Mhm.
I like it.
And I mean, it doesn't take very much to spectate someone, you know.
No, and hopefully you have a competent friend, so
Yeah.
they'll win a game.
So you're gonna want to cycle through those missions. Get those missions done
Yes,
because
get them gone.
yeah, at least leave one open per day so you can go through it. And don't forget, you can click the X at the top of one of your quests to make it auto cycle through to a new one as well. So you
Yes.
kind of technically, by having an empty slot free each day and using that X, you have 2 chances each day to make this spawn. So
I like it. That's a great quest, actually.
Oh yeah.
So, moving on from Hearthstone, which there was a lot of this week. For a
What-
change. It's a nice change.
I would also like to point out Thursday,
Mm-hmm.
I'll be streaming right here on my Twitch channel. I'll be doing the wings. So
Well, there you go. So, Heroes of the Storm. We are 1 week after Sylvanas' release. What do you think of her?
Didn't even get to play with her yet.
I played with her on my team.
I'm so bad.
Okay, I've played the ever-loving crap out of her. I'm
I
level 7
love her
with
on my
already.
team, except when Total plays her. Total Deletion. When Total Deletion plays Sylvanas, and then DC's in the middle of the game, and then the computer is running it, and the computer does not know how to play Sylvanas for shit, and almost costs us the game on many occasions. So
She's quick. She's fun.
that's there.
She's a blast to play. Her Q, 5 charges, you could spam it off super quick because it's got a quarter of a second cooldown. You sound like you're having a seizure on your keyboard. I'll just tell you that much.
Have
I-
you heard me have a seizure on my keyboard
I don't
before?
know. I love her. She's squishy though, and I mean a question here we have is OP, overpowered, underpowered, or just right. I'm gonna say between just right and maybe a little overpowered right now. I mean she is squishy. She gets caught by a stun. I mean that's the counter. You catch her, she's dead. More so than a lot of other squishy heroes right now.
I like her more than I like Jaina. They're about equally as squishy, I believe.
Right, but played well, and she's probably.
Better.
Oh no, she's definitely better. She
Yeah.
may be one of the top 3 picks in the game right now, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. And Age Knight Road in chat says she is the best hero in the game at the moment, in his opinion. So there's that. Probably going to have a lot of nerfs incoming, and I don't know, I love Sylvanas in general.
I know, she's one of my favorite like Warcraft characters, so I'm glad.
You got a
she's
long-range silence, which is great.
Yeah.
Right now, one of the most viable silences, if I think it's the only silence, is Malfurion's other ultimate.
That no one really
Well,
uses.
people take it in like team play, like in pre-made teams, but they take it for a reason.
Right.
If you're going solo queue, you're probably going to want Tranquility,
Yeah.
unless you have another decent healing support. So this arrow, and mind you, I'm by no means a high-level player. I find Possession absolutely useless right now, especially in comparison to what do you call it, Wailing Arrow.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot actually.
Yeah.
So
So long range, decent damage and a decent AoE, 2.5 second stun, and if you take the talent, the tier before that makes your Black Arrow passive cause everything to explode on death, you hit someone in the middle of a minion wave, you pretty much instant kill them. Because it causes all 7 minions to explode with the arrow.
Yeah.
Did it. It's fun.
Nailed it.
Gazlo's trying to get away, and it's just like, no, you don't. Oh, look, minions. Oh, you're dead. So she's pretty interesting. And then we have Tomb of the Spider Queen. Have either of you gotten to play on that yet?
I did.
I did too.
Interesting map, wouldn't you say?
I love it.
It's cool.
My
It's really cool.
Here's one of my favorite little tidbits of the map. I noticed this on the bottom lane, or was it the middle lane? I forget. But there is a way to leave the base directly into the jungle from the second tier.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, usually, you have the first tier, and then there's jungle. You can bypass the first tier of defenses through the
Yeah.
jungle, but the second tier is walled off, locked off.
Right.
And your only way out of the base is through one of those main gates. Well, you have options to sneak out on one
I
of the
did not
lanes
even
into the
notice that.
jungle. I'm just like, why is there another door there? It's such a weird angle. Wait, that door leads up and around it. Ooh.
I mean, to be honest, I was just walking around screaming, "Get the gems, Bentley Bear!" So you'll have to forgive
Yeah.
me.
This is the map that Total DC'd on that we were playing in, and the bot for whatever reason does not know to collect these things, and then it'll go
Oh.
run into like a pack of people, and then it'll just lose them all. So
The gems. I like the gem mechanic. It's, a nice play on the Blackheart's Bay coin mechanic.
Yeah.
Pick up the gems, and they drop from the minions. The ranged minions are replaced with little metal spiders that spit stuff at you. Gems drop from them.
I was so aggravated in that run. We were just playing cooperative. We were playing against bots, and we almost lost.
That's
Oh,
a
no.
feat.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and I mean, you turn all those coins in, you get a web. Was it a web weaver? It's called big ass spider
Yeah.
that's gonna push down the lane, and they will summon where the enemy minions currently are at, which
Right.
I think is a nice touch.
Absolutely.
But if you counter them, all it takes is one person with decent damage to really counter them. So they're not the biggest threat in the world, but left alone, and they're gonna push you. They're gonna push the fucking lane to no end.
Yeah, if you push with them, I think you'll be fine.
Oh, if you push with them, it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
They do a nice amount of damage. They summon a couple of other minions that do some decent damage, and it's a nice small map.
It is.
Yeah, and like you said, it's like the pirate map, and that's my favorite. So
Oh, I love Pirate Map's my favorite too.
it's
Everybody
like the
loves
best
pirate
one. So
So, a couple of questions we have here, and do we have a heroes related question? I don't think so. Yes, we do.
Yeah.
This is me keeping track of Twitter questions like a champ.
Champion.
Anyway, this question is from Total Deletion. Has the new Blizz Heroes patched affect your game? I can't even read this. Patch affected your favorite heroes in any way, for the good, for the bad? Considering I've been
I
playing
like-
exclusively Sylvanas since the patch dropped, I haven't noticed.
I like that they added new portraits for some abilities.
I do too.
Yeah.
I like the new Uther, because when you kill Uther, he no longer is a nightmare.
Mhm.
He's no longer an invincible stun bot.
What, you don't like them?
I used to hate him. I mean, he's still
Oh.
annoying with Flash Heal or whatever, but
He's still extremely annoying, yeah.
But I love Uther.
but he's not like charge in. Oh no, I died, but I could still be a game-changing force for the next 10 seconds.
Yeah.
I
Damn
mean,
it. I don't
he's
know.
still going to make a dent, but yeah. That's the only change that really comes to mind. But like I said, I've been playing a lot of Sylvanas, so I haven't filtered down to my other usual heroes. I've noticed Jaina being played a lot more, but that's because all of her abilities got a damage buff.
I'm
Yeah,
still
and
playing
she got-
Jaina just as much.
Yeah,
She got a new
you
talent, so
She
like
he likes
her
Jaina.
arcane. What was it? Arcane something.
Uh,
It makes her regenerate a lot of mana.
Oh, Arcane.
I- like-
no,
I get too much flack because all I play is Jaina, and everybody's giving me shit off that. But I don't play very often, and when I do, I'm trying to level one character straight through. Like, I just want to finish off one before I move to the next. So, I don't like to spread everything out, and I'm like the worst person when it like so. Let me explain to you guys how I eat dinner.
I
Right?
don't know.
I eat my
Right.
chicken, then I eat my mashed potatoes, then I eat my corn. I don't eat a piece of chicken, a bite of mashed potatoes, and a scoop of corn. I eat one, the next, boom. There's no mixing.
God. Anyway,
Uh-huh.
I like that they buffed Harambe. She kind of needed it.
She definitely needed it. I should probably have the full patch notes up in front of me to go through this.
I'm looking at them. Yeah, they buffed the crap out of Harambe, and God knows she needed it.
She did need it because she was one of those, like, she was
No
one of
one
those
used her.
support. Yeah, no one used her because her support wasn't strong enough and her damage wasn't strong enough. The
Yeah.
stun was great, but that was really the stun was it. The Shadow Stalk was great, but there was just so many better picks.
Hmm
Yeah. And it really, her and Uther got like the most attention this patch.
Mm-hmm.
So Uther got a lot of changes. I mean, I get it, coming back to life and just being like, "Sup, I'm just not gonna die for a little while.
I'm just gonna
Okay, is
walk
that
right
fine
in
for
and
you?"
use my ultimate. You're all stunned and dead.
Like, yeah. So he needed a little bit of readjusting, but he's still gonna be fine. I think he'll be a great support still.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lost Vikings got a tiny little itty bitty little adjustment, So
Wee
people
tiny
can-
adjustment.
a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Not much. Stitches got a wee bit nerfed, but I guess I don't know. He kind of needed it a little bit.
Mhm.
Just slightly.
A little bit.
They're gonna,
Just a tiny adjustment.
no matter how much, unless they drastically alter the fishing hook, Stitches is always gonna be a great pick.
Yeah.
Didn't some significant changes happen to Murky?
Oh,
Well,
yes.
yes.
There's a new talent at level 4, and I gotta read this one because I love it. Live in the Dream. You gain 10% ability power, and you gain an additional 1% ability power for every 5 seconds that Murky is alive, up to 25%. Resets upon death. So if you're one of those Murkies that doesn't die a lot, this is a great talent.
Oh, so this is one that I should never pick up.
Right. Also, his egg no longer counts for experience, nor half a hero death. Its cooldown for placement is reduced to 15 seconds, down from 20, and it has a bit more health.
Yay, Murky!
And his slime stacking damage now applies to unstoppable units such as the Grave Golem, which it didn't before, and the pufferfish cast time has been reduced by 75%. So now instead of standing there for a second and throwing the pufferfish, it just pops off like that.
Yeah. and his slime stacks on like golems and stuff now too, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so that is super nice.
Mm-hmm. That is super nice. And then there were just a bunch of other balance changes for
So,
most
so
other
it may
heroes.
actually make Murky semi-viable again.
Yeah.
He was always viable if your team,
Right, but
if your team
there's
is
circumstances
built,
around it.
you know,
I'm talking about more
properly.
in the generic groups.
Yeah, generic. It also depends on the map. Because Murky is less useful on maps like Blackheart's Bay, because there aren't as many good egg hiding places, whereas Cursed Hollow is probably Murky's best map. just due to the sheer size, the locations to hide your egg, and the fact that March of the Murlocs will completely fuck over a team trying to get a tribute.
I don't want to say this because this is where I usually hide my egg, but on Blackheart's Bay, the best place to hide it is just under the coin turn-in. Like, almost nobody ever looks there. There's, like, a whole series of, like, chambers in there.
Yeah, but you know what?
So, like, I always put the egg in there, and it usually lasts at least half the game before somebody finds it.
People go through there during team fights, especially at the turn-in. They try to use that to avoid people or avoid getting killed and get out of there. So it is a semi-high traffic area at certain points of the game. Right. So it is going to be found eventually.
Well, that's why I said it usually lasts about half the game, and when the game really starts picking up, that's when you need it the most, and that's when it's not going to be there anymore. Right. So,
yeah. Speaking of Murky, there is the Funny Bunny Murky bundle, which is the Noble Garden bundle. Yeah. You get the Funny Bunny Murky skin, which is behind Dom right now, and it is the face of pure evil.
Dom, I don't want to alarm you.
All of the mini Murlocs summoned by March have bunny ears.
But I don't trust it, Dom.
It's
kind of creepy.
$10 for the skin, $15 for the hero plus the skin.
And $20 for the exorcist you'll need.
Oh, mm-hmm. It costs a bit more for the exorcism. And the future therapy you're going to need for going through that exorcism.
Yeah. No, Murky, stop.
He's pretty scary.
Moving on.
It's horrifying.
I know, the eyes. Really is. I can't get my eyes wide enough.
He's just... Oh, there. Okay, yeah, back to normal. Oh, now he's cute again.
Hi. It's the you know what? No, go back to normal Murky. Because he's got, like, the fishy reptilian eyes or whatever there.
Yeah.
And then you go back... And now he's got, go to Funny Bunny, he's got normal round pupils. That's the scariest part.
He has, like, no soul.
I think they should have bent one of the ears and gave him, like, the Donnie Darko bunny.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
That bunny.
That would have been even more creepier.
Oh, God.
I love that rabbit.
Happy Easter, everybody.
Happy Easter, everybody. Oof. Here's some nightmare fuel. Moving on, we got a couple of Diablo mentions this week again. Reminder from what we mentioned last week that Season 2 ends on April 5th. Season 3, we are happy to announce, begins on April 10th.
Woo.
Season 3 rewards will include 10 newer revamped class sets, 2 new legendary gems, the final two pieces of the season's transmog set, the chests and the hands. You require 1 level 70 Season 3 character to get those. A seasonal banner and portrait frame. The banner is 100 season achievement points, and the frame is after 400 achievement points that season. And that's about that to announce for there. I said this last time when Season 2 started, might get me back into Diablo. I'm not going to say it again because it's probably a lie.
Yeah. Hasn't happened.
Do I have enough time if I started right now? Can I make it to the rank?
I think you could level a character if you
could get to 70 in 5 days.
Yeah, easily.
You gotta want it, though.
I already missed Season 1. I'm not interested.
If you didn't do anything else. 2 more mentions. We have a StarCraft mention. Apparently, and this is according to our executive producer here, that Legacy of the Void has started beta today.
Cool.
Which means that's coming sooner than we expected as well.
And with the huge changes they're making, I'm actually a little bit excited for this expansion.
I checked my email. I did not get in.
They just forgot, Dom. It's okay.
It's okay. They'll remember
soon.
They probably have been keeping track of like hours played in StarCraft, and they saw like 5 minutes, so they're like, nope.
Well, they watched the opening cutscene, so.
I played the very first mission when it first came out, because I remember exactly when it was and everything, and I played it. I booted it up, and I was all excited to play. I was like, oh, StarCraft, booted up, and then my computer was overheating, and I was like, what the hell's going on? And then my video card just like fried, and I was like, oh. So I had to replace my video card, and then I just want to point out I was pretty unenthusiastic to play the game from that point on. So,
yeah.
I played the first one on a computer that couldn't run it, so that was a fun freaking campaign.
Yeah. Sounds it.
And that's mostly what I've done with StarCraft 2. After Wings of Liberty released, I played multiplayer for a bit. Heart of the Swarm, purely single player. Didn't touch any multiplayer.
I'm just not good enough at multiplayer to play it. I just can't.
I was... I would put... during Wings of Liberty, I was like mid-silver. So
Wow.
I wasn't terrible, but I wasn't by no means fantastic.
Yeah. I mean,
I would suck now.
StarCraft was the first RTS I played, and I've still never even played the Warcraft RTSs, so.
I was better at the Warcraft ones because that's just all micro and not really a lot of macro, and I suck at macro.
Yeah.
So, Warcraft, make another one. Warcraft 4, do it.
Warcraft 4.
It'll happen eventually.
Speaking of Warcraft, we have World of Warcraft news. Saving the best for... Well, I don't know if it's the best, but we're saving it for last anyway.
It's the last one, so.
Hot off the presses, BlackRock Foundry nerfs, and they're not big ones, just a couple little things to mention. Blast Furnace Phase 1. The Furnace engineers will now throw a bomb at players roughly every 6 seconds. It is now an instant cast, but the range is down to 40 yards from 50. And their reasoning behind this change, it probably doesn't sound like a big one. They're intended to diminish the relative benefit of having 2 or more priests compared to 1 or none. Because priests can mind control them, and basically you would mind control one of the Furnace engineers, target somebody, and just throw bombs at them constantly. And you would get the bombs off, I think, 4 seconds faster than if the engineer were to cast it himself.
Right.
So if you had a priest with mind control, it was in your benefit to do this to get through Phase 1 quicker. The longer you're in Phase 1, the more chaos is going to ensue. Mind control allows for more controlled targeting of the bombs, but will not speed up the phase as a whole anymore. And they also reduce the health of the heat regulators that you have to destroy. So, that.
Yeah, that'll help a little bit. So.
And the Black Hand changes, they're mythic difficulty. I mean, his health is down 5%, his Massive Shattering Smash in Phase 3 does a quarter less damage, and Iron Soldier's health has been reduced by 15%. All mythic changes, not something the common
Filthy
WoW
casuals.
player is going to encounter.
Does not and never will affect me.
Exactly. I don't think I'm going to be affected by this change ever, let alone anytime soon.
I can't say never, because this will affect me in 2 expansions from now when I come back to solo it.
Yes.
Probably only do that once. Does he drop him out?
He drops them out.
Okay, so no, I'll be doing that forever.
My thing, if this was normal or heroic, I'd be really excited right now, but it's not.
Yeah.
Also, heirloom item level increase. They are put more in line to gear that is given for the final quest zones.
Mm-hmm.
And at level 90, they're still the same eye level, but by level 100, they're going to be 605 versus 600, because that's what you get from quest rewards.
Start out about like 10. It starts like so at 90 they're the same, and then at 91 it's a 10 eye level difference, and then it slowly starts like shifting. It's around the 9-10 mark, and then it gets down to 5 levels higher for the final level.
Right, it's to come in, and here's an official post by Blizzard. We received feedback from some of you regarding heirloom item scaling from 91 to 100. Particular in comparison to items available from dungeons. Oh, excuse me. Could not get the mute button quick enough. After some discussion, we agree heirlooms need to be made more competitive with dungeon items, so that's why they did it.
Just blame Murky.
I blame Murky, that evil fucking rabbit.
He's super creepy. He's like staring over my shoulder, and it's like...
So sorry for that sneeze. Anyway.
It actually sprayed me through the camera, so...
Right. Your heirlooms will not always be better stat-wise, but they will be in line with what you're getting anyway.
Yeah, because I did notice, and it's even before 90, there's some levels around like 70-ish, where an item will drop, and it's about 3 levels higher than what you're wearing on heirlooms, and it's like, technically that's an upgrade for me, but you know what? I'd rather just not even worry about swapping a piece back in and out, so I'm just going to keep the heirloom, so it's nice that the heirlooms are going to be competitive now.
Mm-hmm. And in the news, World of Warcraft-wise, Method Raiders, if you're familiar with Method, they're one of the world's top guilds. 3 of their members have been hired by Blizzard.
Ooh.
They are giving up their top-tier raiding careers to work with Blizzard devs on raiding counters. And they've already helped Blizzard in tuning encounters in Tier 17, such as Blast Furnace and Blackhand.
That is actually really, really exciting.
So, top-end players now having a say in the balance of upcoming raid encounters.
That is extremely exciting because
It's
they're-
about
they're-
time.
yeah, they've seen some of these fights, like, because I always go back and I'm like, oh, Nax. Nax by far was the best instance, in my opinion anyway, that was ever put out, original level 60 Nax. But the best encounter that was ever put out for me is Cthulhu, AQ40. And it was just the intricacy of that fight and the way that, like, because you had the 8 groups, and if group 1 didn't do their job, they didn't die. It was the group on the opposite side of the room that died
Yeah.
because they didn't interrupt the eye stalk that was casting to the other side of the room. So it was just like having that synergy work where you were relied to do a job, but your consequences had your actions had consequences on the opposite side to someone else other than you. So you really had to work together to do this. And I want to see more of that.
You know, I hate to interrupt, but I think what I'm getting from chat here is that this is a European Blizzard April Fool's joke, because I'm getting asked what day it is here, and then I realize that it's the 31st, but tomorrow is the 1st.
No, they're usually really good at this. They're usually really, really good at this.
I mean, this is one of those things that sounds legit. Like, the Bard class was an obvious April Fool's. But
Who put this out? Is this Blizzard that put this out, or is this Method that put this out?
I have no idea.
To the internet. YouTube, talk about your World of Warcraft. I know nothing on this subject.
Because if this is Blizzard that put this out, which I don't see Blizzard saying anything. So if this is Method putting it out, they're European, so they are in... Yeah, okay, so it is April 1st there for them. So this is probably April Fool's joke on their end.
Method did it.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Yep, April
I can't
1st.
believe I fell for it. And you know what? I usually am good with April Fools because I know it's that day. Today
But
is
it's
not
not
that
that
day.
day.
Exactly.
It's not that day, so...
But it is not this day.
It's that day for them. So
You're welcome, Cleo.
I don't know, I was excited. They had me excited.
They had me excited, and I fell for it.
Okay, well, if this quote doesn't tell it, very excited to move to Cali to work for Blizzard. I was told that their corporate gym is insane. Looking forward to crushing their deadlift record. Okay, so...
Yeah. Okay, so that's all then.
Fucking assholes. Fell for it.
Mystery solved.
Mystery solved. Anyway,
And yes, I want the Bard, too. It was Guitar Hero Bard.
we have a couple of things to go over before we end the show.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Yeah,
God.
I'm just going. Couple questions. One more from Total Deletion. Evolution of a game is important. What is one feature you would like to see Warcraft implement from other MMOs that it lacks? A lot of the features...
Dignity?
Dignity. Let's see. Rift had AoE looting. All of a sudden, WoW had AoE looting. A lot of the quality of life changed. I don't know. What are other MMOs that have features right now that WoW doesn't? That would be nice, because
I
don't play a
want
lot
your
anymore.
character to be able to change what class it is.
Multi-classing.
If my goblin wants to all of a sudden become a warlock, because goblins can be warlocks, it should have that ability.
You know, I like that, and that brings me from when they announced EverQuest Next, saying that there's going to be, I think they said upwards of 40 classes in the game, and you could be all of them at once. You just got to switch between a spec or a weapon or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And doing something that would be interesting. How would they do it though? Like, you get to level 100 as a hunter, and then what do you got to do to multi-class?
You go talk to a class trainer.
But that's
'Cause they're
too easy.
useful
That's
still.
too easy. They would have to make you work for it somehow.
Maybe do like an
because-
initiation
Why?
quest or
Why does it
something.
have to be a big thing?
Well, because then it negates the point of leveling another character, more or less.
No, that's to have alts, to have multiple characters to be able to do things.
Right, but...
It doesn't negate it. And keep in mind that every race can't be every class.
True.
You know, so I can't roll a goblin and all of a sudden be a druid. it doesn't work that way.
Right, and Savannah
But
in
you can
chat,
dream, damn it.
she plays Final Fantasy 14, and she says that in FF14, all you do is change your weapon, and poof, you're a new class.
I mean, if they
Yeah,
really
it's
want
a
to
job
make
system.
you do something, like give a mini quest chain, give like a what is known as a theme park, for the old school MMO players, give us a little like, oh, you want to learn how to be a rogue? Here's a 5 theme park quest thing to teach you how to rogue, and when you complete it, you're now a rogue, or you have the ability
Right.
to switch to rogue. At any point, you don't have to maybe not do that theme park every single time you want to switch back and forth, but maybe for the initial to kind of train you into it.
It would it would definitely keep the game fresh for some people.
Or even a scenario. Give a scenario that you run through that's going to give you
Yeah.
all the things you need to do to learn how to be that class.
It would alleviate some issues certain raid teams might have, like us, our healer and or tank shortage, depending on what day it is. I don't know. It's an interesting system, and it's one I don't think we'll ever see in WoW.
Cleo
No.
says, how to Rouge? I don't want a Rouge.
How to
And
do Rouge.
how to do Rouge. I mean, other games are built
Rouge is
entirely
for stat.
around this system. Like EverQuest Next is being built around this system. So, I don't know. It's an interesting topic. That's an interesting question.
I like they could finally fucking put in housing. I don't know.
Yeah,
The garrisons don't
did.
count.
I know.
The garrisons kind of
don't
count. They
It's not a
kind of count.
house.
You can decorate them like you go. Not that anybody does this, but you can go do archaeology and find those nice, like, pristine things, and it starts hanging stuff on the wall, and you can put things on
Alright.
shelves, and it's kind of there. It's kind of there, but I want like, what I really, really want is
Like
to
a
go,
housey
like,
home.
slay a rare spawn dragon out in the world, and then his head's on a pike in your garrison forever.
Yeah.
So, like, I want some more customizable stuff like that within
want-
the garrison.
Gruul's head on a fence post. Like,
Yeah.
come on.
Exactly. Rajan
Like-
Oregon chat says sub races would be really nice.
That would be cool.
Like frost dwarves, or, instead of jungle
Maybe like a-
trolls, desert trolls, or
Yeah.
Dark Iron Dwarves. Make them a good guy. I don't know.
they
Fuck it.
kind of technically are right now at this point in the lore.
Yeah. I mean, that'd be cool.
Mhm.
Or just like maybe alternate racial things. Like, not every dwarf has to have stone form. Like, give them something else. Do they even still have stone form?
Yes.
No.
It's not
Okay,
the same
cool.
as it used to be, though. I don't.
I'm sure it's not, but but like maybe more to just like customize your characters like background and feel. That'd be cool.
We have 2 more questions, and I'm rushing through this because I want to get to one of them because it's pretty awesome. First off, another Twitter question. This one is from Savannah. Do you ever think WoW will have weddings like Final Fantasy XIV? And I'm pretty sure that it has an in-game system where your characters can get married.
Yeah. Oh, how cute.
I mean, people do roleplay weddings in WoW. They've done it for years. But will it ever be a system in the game? I doubt it.
I
No,
sure
God, no.
as hell hope not.
Yeah.
No.
would
It's just
be
not going to
interesting.
happen.
I'm not into the RP scene at all. Like,
Mhm.
I had a friend that we leveled some characters on an RP server, and his name was OMG Cookies.
Great. That's very role playish of you. What's his background?
Wait, he's in guild right now, isn't he? Because there's someone named I Have Cookies or something like that in our guild.
No, that's not the same person.
Oh,
But
okay.
the person is in guild. It is Rob, who raids with us.
Of course he does. Of course that was him.
Mm.
Anyway, our next question, the last question of the night, is another video question from Jakeinator. This has become a weekly thing, and he keeps upping the ante as far as production quality
Seriously.
goes. I mean, I don't know. This is my favorite part of the show every week for the past couple weeks. Because it's like, all right, how has he one-upped himself this week? So, without further
Seriously.
ado, this one's almost a 2-up over last week.
It's so good.
Here we go.
I'll have to go now. needed elsewhere, dear. I really need to go. Baltalk needs me. Don't cry for me, dear. I'll be back. Up, and away! Whoop. Hello, Baltalk. You know who it is. It's Chicken Eater, and I have a question for you guys. Here in Denmark, in the land of tomorrow, it's already the 1st of April, so you know what that means. April Fool's jokes. What do you guys think that Blizzard will do of this year's joke announcements in their games of World of Warcraft, StarCraft, Diablo, Hearthstone, Heroes of the Storm, and even Overwatch? And if you could make an April Fool's announcement or fake news, what would you like to announce? New games, or change to current games, or something else entirely? What I would like to see is something along the lines of Hogger in Heroes of the Storm. This has been my weekly Baltalk question. See you next week.
Did I sell that short?
It's so good.
I love chat, right? I love Obi Kids in chat. Are you freaking kidding me? In all caps.
We get Cleo saying that is amazing, and yeah, it's good.
Yeah, that
So for April Fools, what I think they should do is tell us that Method is going to work at Blizzard. Like, I'm pretty
That'd
sure
be a great announcement.
everybody would fall for that one.
Overwatch has started. You know, the April Fools has been the long con. We're starting Overwatch beta next week instead of how long from now?
Yesterday.
Yesterday.
No. April Fool's is going to be we're scrapping Overwatch and bringing back StarCraft Ghost.
That would be
Can't
a
take this.
very, very mean April Fool's joke. Because there's
Yeah.
so many people out there that they
It's mean
want
for two reasons.
they want it.
A lot of people want it.
The worst April Fools would be like, hey, you guys doing that Overwatch podcast, you guys get beta keys. And that's not real.
It would.
So
be. That's mean.
my favorite April Fool's prank that Blizzard has ever done was, I think it was one of their first ones for World of Warcraft. It was the two-headed ogre. And
Oh, God, yes.
I remember
that.
they said that like each head of the ogre was independent of a player.
Oh,
So,
right.
It was like,
It's
you
two-player mode.
you get paired up with a random person. You don't even get to choose the person first and foremost. You get a completely random person. You go in, do it, and then you both have movement control over it. You could be a warlock and a mage, and each have separate abilities you can cast and stuff like that. But both of you control at the same time how to walk. So if you're trying to go left and I'm trying to go right, the character just doesn't move, kind of thing. So.
Love it.
And I just remember, I'll never forget, I'm looking through the screenshots of it, and it really sounds like a cool concept. I would have loved it. But I remember, they'd be ready to pull a boss or something like that, and then all of a sudden one of the heads, is down sleeping, and it just says ZZZ, and it said so-and-so has logged off. And then there was another one where they were walking in Blackrock Mountain, and they're, walking over, one of the bridges, and the guy jumped down. And you could see they're having an argument, back and forth. What did you do that for? The other person's just like, ha 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 ha. So.
Can I tell you my favorite?
Two-headed ogre is the best.
Go for it. What's your favorite?
My favorite was, remember that Atari Molten Core game that they made? Where if you skin a bear, then all the bears in the forest come attack you?
Yep.
With directional movement.
8-directional movement!
Yeah.
I still play that game. It's so much fun. That was not just a great April Fool's joke, but it was legitimately a fun game.
Yeah.
That was a fun diversion.
It's
I
very
liked it.
reminiscent of the Murloc one that they made for waiting in line for BlizzCon tickets one year.
Oh, God.
It was I don't know. I want somebody. Can somebody make a Flappy Bird but with a Murloc?
Yeah.
Flappy
Well,
Murloc?
Yeah.
Murloc
Flappy
Bird.
Luck.
Flappy Lock.
Yeah. Do that. Somebody do that right now. I want that on my phone.
I don't. Anyway, that's
Or I
our
just want you to maybe make a WoW character swimming. And just have hordes of Murlocs coming in with the gap that you have to swim between. So maybe not even play the Murloc. But I don't know. I liked the Bard one too. We mentioned the Bard earlier. The Bard was a good April Fool's joke.
The Bard was a good April Fool's joke. I don't know what I would like to see.
Because I want to be able to hook a Guitar Hero controller to my computer and play a WoW class. Like, how crazy would that be?
Yeah.
That'd be insanity.
Dom
Quite
played through the
literally.
fire and the flames.
Quite
I
literally
would.
insanity. Yes, and based on how well you do, it will buff your raid, you will deal increasing damage, or you'll heal.
I just want to know how you can push buttons, strum, and move at the same time. They're going to have to come out with, like, a foot pedal to, like, move your character or something.
Or just grow extra hands.
You grab this joystick with your,
Nope.
toes.
I figured it out. They give you a DDR mat.
There you
So
go.
you're doing DDR
They can
and
incorporate the dance studio.
DDR and Guitar Hero all in one to control the Bard.
I'm done.
Yes.
That would be amazing.
Yes.
Anyway, that's our show, everybody.
It is.
And yeah, tomorrow's April Fool's. Be safe.
I'm
So,
pregnant.
s-
Get an early start.
yeah, you're pregnant. Going on. Dom, where can they find you?
You can find me down below at Zista, XIZTA with an underscore. You can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Zista, youtube.com/DeadZista, where you can find all these videos and more archived, as well as our Overwatch podcast that is airing tomorrow, I believe, on April Fool's. And you can find us on YouTube also at ASO TV Podcast for hundreds of TV shows.
Hundreds of podcasts for dozens of TV shows.
Hundreds of TV shows.
Hundreds of TV shows.
With dozens of podcasts.
Extremely special guest John. Where can they find you?
Hi. You can find me with my extremely unique Twitter icon. This is over there, I don't know. At No More, No More. And if you want to watch me do Let's Plays on YouTube, you can find me at Nahojm, Nhojm. And also, thanks for letting me come on your show, guys.
Yeah, anytime, John. Maybe have him back next week for part 2 of Hearthstone.
Well, there's going to be more Hearthstone news in the coming week, so yeah.
Yeah.
You can find me on Twitter at Thilidrin, also on Twitch at Thilidrin, where Dom said at the ASO TV podcast, stuff, places.
Oh, also, I'm
things.
there too.
He's there too. And you can find us here on Twitch TV/Zista every Tuesday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and the videos will be uploaded to YouTube/DeadZista. Thank you for watching, everybody. Have a lovely night. Long transition, go. I'm timing it this time. Only 3 seconds. That was good.